What's something your family mocked you for that now earns you a six-figure salary? My family always had something mean to say to me growing up. They had problems with my weird friends, my poor boyfriend, and my lack of ambition. But what they hated the most was my gardening hobby. They thought it was a waste of time and money, even if it was the one thing that really made me feel happy at home. One time I caught my brother digging up a vegetable I had planted for grandma after I heard she'd gotten sick. When I told my mom, she just rolled her eyes and said that it was time to stop playing in the dirt like a little boy and grow up. I was really hurt, but they had no clue what I was actually doing in the garden. The first person to figure it out was my neighbor, Mrs. Dawson. I'd been living with my boyfriend for a couple of months when she suddenly came knocking on my door looking for me. She held out my electric bill looking confused. "I got your mail by accident, but honey, how is this possible? It says 0, but I see your porch lights on every single night. Is everything okay? Are you behind on payments?" she asked sweetly. I laughed and took her to the backyard. Her eyes went wide. It wasn't just a garden. It was an entire self-sustaining garden system. There were rainwater tanks that flowed through the raised beds, small 3D printed turbines I built from scraps, solar panels hidden behind the tomato trellises, all connecting to large batteries hidden in the shed. I grinned, learned everything from YouTube videos and Reddit forums. The water I've been collecting feeds my plants and powers my home at the same time. And that's not even the best part. The batteries store excess energy, which I can choose to keep or sell back to electrical companies. My boyfriend stepped out from the house and joined us, staring at my crazy invention proudly. "We haven't had to pay utility bills for months now, all thanks to this genius," he said, pressing a kiss to my head. Mrs. Dawson stood there starstruck. "Why haven't you told anyone about this? It's incredible." I frowned, thinking back to how my family treated my projects. "I tried, but no one wants to spend a dime on my ideas," I told her. She took my hands in hers and smiled. "How much do you need?" She wrote me a check later that night, and I immediately got to work. I made her a smaller version at first, just to test it out. But when she saw her bills drop from $600 to $150, she cried. Soon, the entire neighborhood heard about the crazy garden invention and started showing up at our front door with their checkbooks ready. But when my family heard I'd been earning thousands of dollars each month over a gardening project, they suddenly wanted in. My brother offered to be my business partner, saying that I needed help with marketing if I wanted to expand. My parents boasted about it all over social media, saying that inventors ran in the family. But I wanted nothing to do with them, not after they spent years destroying my confidence and looking away whenever my brother messed with my garden. So when I told them that this small business was mine and mine only, they became furious, leaving awful voicemails like, "We always knew you were a little rat, taking and never giving," and "I shouldn't have given birth to you." They even tried reporting me to HOA for running an illegal pyramid scheme, but the entire committee had already invested and seen the results of my work, so the complaint went straight into the trash. That only made my family more desperate to tear me down. A few nights later, my boyfriend woke me up and whispered, "Someone's in the backyard." I pulled up the security cameras from my phone and froze. My brother and my dad were out there with flashlights and tools, ripping out everything they could get their hands on while my mom stood by the fence keeping watch. I opened the window and shouted, "Stop! You're going to hurt yourself. You have no idea what you're messing with." But they just looked up and laughed at my worried expression. I tried desperately to warn them again, even tried to send my boyfriend down to stop him, but by then it was too late. My brother yanked out a cable connected to the main battery system, and it sent him flying back. My mom screamed. My dad started panicking, trying to get him to wake up. I called 911, but by the time the ambulance arrived, I realized the damage didn't stop there. Mrs. Dawson's porch light, which she kept on every night since I'd helped with her garden, was now off. My heart sank when I realized what had happened. The cord my brother had yanked out earlier shut her power off too. I grabbed my boyfriend's arm, shaking. "Doesn't Mrs. Dawson sleep with an oxygen machine?" His eyes widened. He ran over to the paramedics and pointed at her house. "The elderly woman next door can't breathe without power. Please check on her." They rushed to her house and broke down the door. A minute later, they rolled her out on a stretcher. She wasn't moving. The police on the scene immediately arrested my family. My parents were charged with vandalism, trespassing, and a long list of other things, and Mrs. Dawson survived. While she was recovering, I spent days in her garden fixing up the system, making it tamper-proof, even giving her an independent battery to rely on. That later won me a sustainability award and $50,000, which I used to launch my business. We hit six figures this year.